left there when I was in the 3rd grade. I'm a cradle Episcopalian. I was christened in Jacksonville and have grown up in the church. I pretty much spent most of my life in Orlando up until we moved up here, a couple of months ago.
I was born in Washington, D.C., baptized at the National Cathedral, and at the age of 5, my parents moved me to California, where I grew up in the Northern California area near San Jose. Went into the Warrant Officer Flight Training Program, became an Army pilot, flew in Vietnam, and but all the while I had a call, I believe, to ordained ministry, but because of life and so forth, I didn't actually get to exercise that for quite a while until I moved to Orlando in 2011 and met my future bride there as well. And I was ordained a deacon in Southeast Florida.
So let's see, I most recently, actually for the last almost 20 years, worked for SunTrust Bank in commercial banking. That's my work background. I went to Rollins College, which is in Winter Park, Florida. I was a foreign language major. I speak 4 languages. Ended up in banking, go figure. But I was an exchange student in Brazil for a year, and that was sort of what sparked my love of languages. So I'm fluent in Portuguese and Spanish. French and Italian, I'm functional, but that's my passion. Travel, and just we love to travel. That's our thing.
I have a real passion for church work, to be honest. I love to do congregational care or pastoral care, as well as preach the gospel. I think that's probably the most important thing I do, of everything I do, actually.
And we have 2 daughters. One is a Labradoodle, her name is Stella, and one is a Golden Doodle named Riley. And then 2-legged children, we have 2 sons, Andrew and his wife Emily, who live in Raleigh, and he's an executive chef in Cary. Well, actually, they live in Chapel Hill, but he is at a restaurant in Cary. And my son, Paul, and his fiancée, Alexis, live in Charleston.
I thought it's about time for me to retire. And so I had kind of set September of this year as 2021 as the year I would retire.
So I took an early retirement from the bank, and it so happened that it coincided with the September 30th retirement that Carter was charting toward. And we had purchased a home up here a year beforehand because I was working remotely, everybody was. And so we just loved it up here. My parents had actually retired up here in the late 90s. I worked at the Valley Cruces Conference Center for 4 years. That was my job when I lived in the mountains, and I loved it. I was the office manager. My former husband was the food service manager for the conference center. So we have some roots in the Western North Carolina diocese, and committed to being here and being part of the community, and just feel super blessed to be part of this church.
Right.
And I think what brought us here, again, it was not unfamiliar to me, but I mean, we are both staunch Episcopalians. We've been Episcopalians our whole life, and we love the church, and we've ever since, it just felt so welcoming to us. We were incredibly impressed with Jocelyn and the many ministries and the activeness of folks. I think that spoke to us a lot.
I think we just really love this place. We really feel drawn here. So
we have felt very welcomed and appreciate the warmth and genuineness of everyone. It's been super refreshing, and what I love, I think, about this church as well is that there are people from so many different walks of life. Such a beautiful place. It's God's creation, and the fact that it's drawn people here is no surprise to me.